Hey guys, it's Emma. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. So today I wanted to make a video about winter book recommendations. Now for me, winter is a time where I want to read things that are very magical, very lyrical, very snowy, very cold, very atmospheric, very heavy. And I think these books are perfect for the winter time, so let's just get into the video. I am so excited to talk to you about all the books that I think are just perfect for winter. The first book on my list is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This book is loved among so many people, among readers and people who don't really read as avidly. Everybody seems to love this book, and for good reason. I think it's quite good. This book is about these 6 students who are studying classic literature at a university in Boston. I can't recall exactly what the university is called. It is snowy, it is atmospheric, and the friendship between these 6 students begins as something very wholesome, very cool. It's a little bit competitive because they're like the only 6 students in this one prestigious, pretentious literature class, but it slowly unravels and becomes very destructive and self-cannibalizing, I guess. It is so good, and it takes place in a snowy atmosphere. It kind of takes place throughout multiple years, but for me, I associate this book with winter, and this is like the OG of modern dark academia. It is a modern classic for a reason, and I think a lot can be analyzed in this book as well, and I just think it's perfect for winter, so I highly recommend it for winter. The next book on my list is Our Dining Table by Mita Ori, and this book is so wholesome. It just feels like Christmas joy, basically. This book follows a man named Yutaka, and he is not good with eating around people. He has some trauma surrounding that. He prefers to eat by himself. So every day at work when he needs to eat lunch or something, he goes to this park, and then one day he meets these 2 brothers, Minoru and Tane. They try his food and they're like, oh my god, this is so good. Like, can you please teach us how to cook? And he agrees. And so begins a beautiful relationship between Minoru and Yutaka, and a cute older brother relationship with Yutaka and Tane. And it is just so wholesome and cute and amazing, and I just love this book so much. It is a manga book. People need to read more manga, I'm telling you. It doesn't get enough love, and the art style in this is just so beautiful, and it's amazing, and I cried so hard reading this book. It is so wholesome and one of the best manga I've ever read, so yeah, highly recommend it for winter time. The next book on my list is Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I love Laini Taylor. I think her writing is perfect for winter, but this book especially I think is perfect for winter. I have the UK edition, so the cover is different. I'll put a picture of the cover right here for the US edition, but yeah, this is the UK edition. I just think it's nicer in my opinion, but either one works. But yeah, this book is about a girl named Karu, and she has blue hair, and she lives in Prague, a very wintry, snowy Prague, might I add, and she is the apprentice to this chimera. Chimera are basically monsters, sort of more like humanoid monsters. She's an apprentice to one of them, and a war breaks out between angels and chimera. She actually falls in love with an angel named Akiva, and it's very much a Romeo and Juliet situation, and it is so beautiful. It is full of yearning, and the writing is so lyrical and gorgeous and just stunning, and it's one of those books where love spans over lifetimes, and it is very much a soulmate situation, and it is amazing. I think Laini Taylor is amazing. I have Strange the Dreamer right here, and yeah, I really need to continue with this series because I've only read the first book, gave it 5 stars, and I still haven't read the second book, but I really need to. This is amazing. I think it's a perfect winter read, so definitely check it out if you can. The next book on my list, I feel like no wintry book recommendations list is complete without Beartown by Fredrik Backman. I mean, look at the cover. It is literally winter in a book, just perfect for winter, and it is amazing, and I love it so much. It is about a town in Sweden called Beartown, and this town is very small. It's a very tightly knit community. This entire town kind of centers around its junior hockey team. Its livelihood rides on the hockey team's success, but then one day something really traumatic and devastating happens, which I won't spoil, but I would recommend checking trigger warnings if you're sensitive to certain topics. But if you're not, go into this blind. Something devastating happens and the entire town is divided, and it is so heartbreaking and hopeful at the same time. This book is just perfect, and it is the easiest 5 stars I've ever given in my life. There are certain quotes in this book that just break your heart into a million pieces, and I actually had my mom and my dad read this book. I convinced them to read it, and they absolutely loved it, and my mom actually read the entire series, and she really recommends it. So even people who don't read super avidly enjoy this book. I cannot recommend it enough, especially for the wintry season. It is a perfect book in my opinion. The next book on my list is Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. It is so good. It is so well known and so well loved, and it is a classic for a reason. So I will tell you what it is about now. If you are not aware, this book is about a man named Raskolnikov. He commits a murder in cold blood against this old woman with an axe. It's a very brutal murder, and there's not really any reason. Well, there is a reason for why he does it, but seemingly he does it for no reason. And this book is about him dealing with the guilt and the torment and the anguish and the paranoia of killing this woman. It's also kind of about redemption in a way. It is one of those books that is very cold and claustrophobic and dense, and one of those books you really need to sit with and digest deeply. I think it is perfect to read during like a winter break or just whenever you have free time during the winter. I think this is a great book to read. So yeah, I really recommend it. I thought the audiobook was great as well. I listened to the one by Will Poulter, and I love Will Poulter. I think he's such a good actor, and he is also extremely intelligent and seemingly a very good person. Like, he donates to charities having to do with Gaza, and he very openly highlights Black-owned businesses on his Instagram. He's just a great person. But yeah, he narrated the Crime and Punishment, or one of the Crime and Punishment audiobooks, and he was amazing. He was so good. Yeah, highly, highly recommend consuming this book in any form. And yeah, it's just a great book and perfect for winter. The next book on my list, I say that with air quotes because it's not really a book, really. It is just fairy tales of any kind. I really recommend reading fairy tales during the winter. I think it is perfect for winter because they teach so many lessons, you know. They teach, well, first let me tell you about what I'm holding in my hands. This is my collection of Hans Christian Andersen's complete fairy tales, and then I have Grimm's fairy tales, the complete collection. So yeah, but any fairy tales works. I actually found out recently that Oscar Wilde has like an entire collection of fairy tales. I did not know that, and I need to read them. I really, really recommend any sort of fairy tales during the winter time. I think it is perfect for winter. They teach lessons about life and love and loss and heartbreak and grief and parenthood and childhood. I think some really perfect wintry fairy tales include The Little Match Girl by Hans Christian Andersen and Hansel and Gretel, but really anything works. I also think fables are great for the winter time, like The Ant and the Grasshopper by Aesop, I think are perfect for winter. So yeah, read some fairy tales this winter. Curl up next to the fireplace or light a candle or something and read some fairy tales. Yeah, do it. The next books on my list, it's a 2-for-1 special, is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern and The Starless Sea, also by Erin Morgenstern. I think Erin Morgenstern is perfect for winter. She just has such a way with words. Her writing is very decadent. Her writing feels like eating a chocolate fudge cake, like a moist chocolate fudge cake, or like drinking warm milk and honey. Like, that's what it feels like. Honestly, just so decadent and rich and like just delicious. I can't explain it. But both of these are extremely wintry in my opinion. I think these are just incredible books, and I gave them both 5 stars. But I would say I like The Starless Sea more, but I think both of them are amazing. So The Night Circus is about a circus that appears at night. Shocker. It's a very magical circus. There are things that just don't make sense at this circus. It's very magical. Two young magicians are competing and they eventually fall in love, and it is beautiful. It is stunning. And then The Starless Sea is, I actually don't really know how to explain the plot of this book. It's very much about stories, why we tell stories, the significance of stories. Stories galore in this book, honestly. A lot of people say this book doesn't have a plot, but I think it does. You just need to take my word for it. Go into it blind. It is incredible. It is so good. And just pure magic. There's no other way to describe this book. It's just, I can't even convey how magical this book is. I just adored every moment of it. And I read this in college, in my senior year of college, and God, it was just a life-changing experience. So yeah, definitely recommend this one. Both of them are incredible books, and it is so sad because Erin Morgenstern only has 2 novels out, and I've read both of them. I want to read more, so 2 for 1 special with these 2. Then we have The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa, and this book, you guys, oh my god, it is devastating. It is so haunting. It's one of those books where you don't realize you're in so much pain until tears are running down your face and your heart is just aching and feels like it's gonna pop out of your chest. It hurts so much. This book is cold and quiet and atmospheric and ambiguous. It is translated from Japanese. I should also mention that. Read as much translated fiction as you can. It is an amazing experience. This book is about an island in Japan where the residents, their memories are slowly being erased by the government. No one knows how. No one really knows why. It is very much up to interpretation as to how and why these memories are going missing. And it starts with small things like emeralds, for example, and it slowly becomes bigger and bigger and more significant things that are being erased from these people's memories. But there are people on this island who do remember, even when things are erased from people's memories. And these people are very, very threatening to the government. And so whenever the government finds out about these people who remember objects, they immediately take them, and no one knows what happens to these people. But basically our main character hides one of the people who can remember things. I think it's her coworker. She hides him. It is devastating. I can't even properly express how sad and painful this book is. It's not even funny. I can't say enough good things about this book, and it's also pretty short. It's like 300 pages max. No, not even. It's like 260 pages, so you could easily read this in like 2 or 3 days, or 1 day if you really lock in. I don't know. It is just amazing, and I really recommend it. And then the last book on my list, I don't actually own, but it is one of the best books I've ever read in my entire life. It is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. This book was the first book that ever was my favorite book. I have so many favorite books now, but this was like the first book for me where I was like, this is my favorite novel I've ever read. And I've read it 3 times, and every single time it got better and better and better. And I can't say enough good things about it, but I will explain what this book is about. It is about a boy named Connor, and he consistently has this nightmare, and he always wakes up at 12:17 a.m. and his mom is dying of cancer. But one day this monster shows up to his house, and it's like this massive monster, like it's looming over the house. It's so big, and it's made out of this tree, and he is a very kind monster, and it's made out of this tree, and he is a very kind monster, and he shows Connor these stories about life and love and betrayal and grief. It is such a beautiful book, and I highly recommend getting the illustrated edition because the illustrations are some of the most beautiful I've ever seen in my life. And I really need to reread that book because it's been like years since I last read it, but it's just incredible, and I can't say enough good things about it. It was a very comforting book for me, if I'm being honest, and helps me with my own grief and my own trauma and anxiety, and it just meant everything to me at the time, and it still means so much. It's like, yeah, it means everything to me, and it's perfect for winter. It's a very cold and beautiful and lyrical, atmospheric book, so yeah, I really recommend that one. But those are all the books that I recommend for winter. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you have an amazing winter, and I hope you have a great 3 reading months. Whether you read 1 book or 30 books, anything totally works, just as long as you're reading. So I highly recommend these books. I hope you love them if you read them, and thank you so much for watching.